Today, we're going to be discussing something that a lot of Cardinals fans probably want to avoid as a whole. But Budda Baker is on a one-year contract, and he might be somebody who's actually traded at the deadline. Let's go ahead and discuss this, because a lot of Cardinals fans, like I said, probably want to avoid this discussion. The NFL is a business, so this is something we got to look at and genuinely talk about. I know this is going to hurt, but let's go ahead and dive into this. Like previously mentioned, Budda Baker has 1 year left on his contract. He finishes this season, he is hitting free agency, and the Cardinals, I really don't know if they're going to bring him back or not. Like, it's something so interesting because he has been the heart and soul of this defense, and he is still a fantastic player. He's 28 years old. His birthday is January 10th, so in a couple of months, he will be turning 29. So when he's 29, these are when the negotiations are going to happen. So I don't know what the Cardinals are going to do past this season, and it has a lot of question marks in the air. Budda's been fantastic for us, and if you don't agree, you're just tripping at this point. The heart and soul of this defense, literally, and even this season, he's making play after play after play, even on a very bad defense. In terms of run support, Budda Baker has been great. In terms of just instinctual football plays, he is always reading things, and he's always one step ahead. We see Budda shooting gaps like crazy, just making like hyper instinctual plays, and his IQ's on another level. So if we do end up trading him, a contender is going to love a player like him because he gives 125% every single play. Whatever 100% is, he's always up and above. Like, Budda Baker is just an absolutely ridiculous football player, but this is an unfortunate conversation that we have to have because we don't know what this new regime wants to do going forward. I'm going to go ahead and read you guys some quotes that happened in June from Budda Baker himself about his contract. Like I said, this was before the season even started, but Budda said he hopes to remain with the team in the future as he heads into the final year of his contract. He said he'll let his agent handle whatever happens with another contract, and he will focus on playing good football above everything else. Baker, drafted by the Cardinals in the second round in 2017, signed a 4-year extension worth $59 million before the 2020 season. That salary took effect in 2021, and this is a direct quote from Budda. He said, "Of course, me being here 7 years, going into year 8, of course, you know you would love to be in the football team you got drafted to. I know it's not the same GM or it's not the same head coach, but I understand if I can continue to do my job at a high level. This is our 4th coaching staff, and I'm still on the team. So it shows what type of character that I have, what type of work ethic I put onto the field. No matter who's there, who's coaching, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to be the person that other guys can look on to, ask questions to all that other stuff as well." He also said, "Of course I want to be a Cardinal, but at the end of the day, I understand it's a business. Every year changes." Budda added, "Most importantly, the name of the game is to win. We haven't really done that much. I really want to win. I really want these fans to be happy and excited to come to the games and have those packed out houses." This is a very interesting quote as well. If you really dive into it, he said, "Most importantly, the name of the game is to win. We haven't really done that much. I really want to win." You guys remember that passionate speech that Budda gave? Like, he is sick and tired of losing. So this could also play a factor. I think Budda does want to remain an Arizona Cardinal, but if we drop this game to the Chargers, things could get very unfortunate for us, and it might be time to fire sale. Like, that is just the harsh reality. You have your building blocks like Kyler, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., potentially Michael Wilson, who's been fantastic this season for us. Then on defense, you don't really have like a legit building block. Like, Darius Robinson could be that guy. Garrett Williams is somebody that I am very confident in keeping long term. I think he's been fantastic. But the Cardinals defensively really don't have that guy besides Budda Baker. So that is a question for concern. Like, where do you go ahead and build from this? Because you don't want that Patrick Peterson situation where he requests a trade and then you let him play on a rebuilding team for 2, 3, 4 years, and then you just get nothing back in return and he walks in free agency. Like, hypothetically, we do re-sign Budda, but we're still rebuilding. Like, it's just not the best thing. Like, I think the vision is to spend money next year, and if that's the case, then Budda Baker could be back. A contract is most likely not going to get done until after this season, if anything, but even having him test the open market is a little dangerous because, like Budda said, he wants to win and he knows what's kind of happening here. So are we going to be winning? Are we going to be contending? It just kind of depends where everything is aligning, and if this team is actually going all in and willing to spend money, then Budda Baker might be back. But like I said, remember when Patrick Peterson requested that trade? Well, Budda Baker last season requested the same trade because he wasn't paid, and whether we want to admit it or not, like, this is a harsh reality that we might have to face. Either he walks in free agency, we trade him at the deadline, or he ends up getting a contract done with us next offseason. Like, there's 3 things that can happen here, and I guess I'm not opposed to any of them. Like, genuinely, I'm not. I'm sitting here and I'm kind of like contemplating all these things, and if we do part ways, it's gonna suck because Budda Budda Baker's a guy who's been drafted here, has been here since what, 2016, 2017? Budda Baker's almost been here a decade. So if we ship him off, it is going to hurt, and that's just what it is. From a business standpoint, I would totally understand it as well. Like selling him to a team that's a contender, like do right by him, and then actually get assets back in return so we can continue this rebuild and kind of expedite this process. I know losing a talent like him would suck, but he's 29 years old. He's not getting any younger. And we also have Dadrian Taylor Demirson, who looked pretty good in week 5, looked really good in the preseason, and obviously he's flashed. I don't know if he's ready to take over. We have a backup plan, so maybe trading him to a team like the Jets or like the Eagles, like a team that could genuinely use him, maybe Dallas. Their defense hasn't looked great, so getting some reinforcements in the back end might help them a ton. Or maybe their season's just so far gone because the offense has been terrible too. Like, I don't know if this is a move that the Dallas Cowboys would legitimately make because they still have to pay people. But if we see a team like Philadelphia, I could absolutely see them making a move. You know how aggressive they get at the deadline? Like, if Budda Baker became available, I could see Philadelphia pouncing on this. Potentially Cincinnati as well. They need secondary help. Budda Baker would fit fantastic. Their offense has been great, but their defense has been absolutely atrocious. So if they go out and make a move like this for Budda Baker, someone who becomes available, that would make sense for their little championship window that they have. You brought all your guys back. T. Higgins is playing. If they retain all that offensive talent, go ahead and get somebody in the secondary to bolster that up. That probably helps them a lot. Or maybe a dark horse team like the Washington Commanders. They have a ton of money and they can pay Budda Baker, and they have Cliff Kingsbury as well, who I'm pretty sure they still have a great relationship. They have Zach Ertz, who the Cardinals had, and him and Cliff Kingsbury are very buddy-buddy. So if Budda Baker goes there, I mean, that wouldn't be surprising at all. And I think he would personally thrive there because Washington needs help in that secondary as well. Like, there's a lot of teams that could genuinely use a talent like Budda Baker. And taking my biasy and all my passion and heart that I have and all the love that I have for Budda Baker, like, you have to understand from a business standpoint that this move might be made. I'm not in the head of Monti Ossenfort. I'm not in the head of Jonathan Gannon. Like, I don't know where they stand on this whole contract situation, like what they want to do with Budda. I don't know what talks are looking like behind closed doors. So I can't sit here and relay any information. This is basically what I'm feeling, and I'm kind of sensing that Budda Baker's trade talks and like all this trade rumor is legit. So I just want to say, if he does end up getting traded with the trade deadline coming up, we are in week 7, so it is very, very close. I just want you guys to be ready because this is something we might talk about, and if we lose this game, that's definitely going to push this agenda a little bit. And then also, I mean, if the Cardinals do win and Seattle loses today and San Francisco loses today, we could jump to the 1 seed. So maybe we're buyers at the deadline. Like, it just all depends how the season goes. But I think this is a huge Monday Night Football game against the Chargers. And I know I've been saying this about every single game. It's teeter-tottering back and forth, but like, we just got to get things going. We got to get on the right track because defensively, we have not been consistent. Offensively, we haven't been consistent. We're dealing with a lot of injuries, but so is everybody else in the NFL. So either we go all in on this season and kind of become buyers with Hassan Reddick not available. Like, I don't know where the Cardinals would even go. Defensive help is what we need right now. Potentially O-line. Like, it just depends where the Cardinals actually feel like they are. You don't want to just go throw like a 2nd round pick and just go bring somebody in who's not going to add value to this team. You want to legit make a contender move or you fire sale. So it's going to be very interesting, but I wouldn't be mad at either. I still trust Monti. I trust his vision for this team. We're going to have a lot of money next year with James Conner and Budda Baker up for extensions. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Cardinals do. I have no idea what's going to happen with Budda Baker. So you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think is going to happen. And if he does get traded, what teams do you think would show interest in him? I showed you my 3. It'd probably be Cincinnati. It'd probably be Washington and Philadelphia if I had to guess. There's probably a dark horse team somewhere in there. A team that's just glaring obvious that I'm just completely missing. So I'll have you guys comment as well. And you guys let me know if you want Budda Baker to be a Cardinal lifer. And I want you to take the bias aside, kind of put yourself in Monti Ossenfort's shoes. What would you guys do and why? But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video, man. If you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.